Hello, my name is Dennis Toronto, and for my video project, I'm going to be talking about MATLAB basics. So as you can see, I've already pulled up a window from MATLAB, and I'm going to be talking about the command window first. So in the command window, as you can probably tell from the name, we put in commands, and this is a compiler which you can write different commands in. So say I wanted to have a variable with a number. If I type in v equals 25, when I press enter, it will show up in the command window and also will show up in the workspace and command history. In the workspace, it will save the name and the value for it, and then the command history will show what command I had put into the command window. This will save any command that you ever put into MATLAB from when you started it. So there's a lot, and it will show the date and the time if you ever needed to go back and look at some. So as you can see, when you press enter, another line shows up with the same information that you put on top. The way that you can stop this from showing up again is when you type in the command, put a semicolon after it, and when you press enter, it won't show up again, unlike before. There's different commands that you can do. So say I put another variable t, which is equal to 10. What you can do is you can use multiplication. So if I did t times, what I have to do is I need to put a period, and this is used for multiplication, division, and also for power symbols. So period dot v, and what it does is that when I click it, it says answer 250, so it multiplies the two variables. That way I don't have to keep typing in numbers. One thing about variables is that they can be very picky, and there are some rules to them. So one is that you must start with a letter of the alphabet. There's a limit to the length of the name. MATLAB is case sensitive. Beware of using underscores in the name. Certain keywords can't be used. Built-in functions should be used as variable names, and they should always be numeric. So say I was to put this in, if I was to put t period times capital V, it wouldn't show up because it's undefined, because it's case sensitive. So even though you have a value for V, it's not going to show up, and MATLAB will show did you mean that, because it recognizes that you're maybe trying to get a lowercase v which you put a value in for, and then it will show up. Another place that you can write commands but are mainly used for scripts are M files. And M files are designed for scripts and is an interpreter, while the difference between the command window and the M file is that, again, the M file is an interpreter while the command window is a compiler. So I'm going to pull up a previous M file that I've written. And so as you can see, I've used flow rate is equal to bracket 2.5 brackets semicolon, and then what I did was I used a parenthesis or a percentage symbol, and that creates a comment so that you can type anything after this. I wrote GPM for what the flow rate is measured in, but I can also write anything as to remember or something important. Then below, total water is equal to the brackets. The brackets are important. You can also use parentheses, as you can see down low. The brackets just help group stuff together, so they are important when putting it in here. So say that I want to run the M file in the command window. All I have to do is that M file was named PA2_A. So if I was to type PA2_A and click enter, you can see that the M file has run. You can tell, so I have total water, which shows up here. Weight of water shows up here. You notice that flow rate and time to shower don't show up because of the semicolons placed. And then the display command, which is parenthesis, bracket, and then what is important is this apostrophe. The apostrophes are important to recognize so that you can put in the sentence. And then the display with the num2straight command allows it so that I can put in a sentence or different words, and then also have the variable show up down below right here. So again, another cool thing in the command window is that if I don't want to retype PA2_A, you can use the arrows for previous commands that you've written in there, and that way they can show up and you can redo it of any of them that they are, so it can pull it up. And another thing is that if you write PA, or if you begin typing a command and you press the tab key, it gives you options so that you don't have to write it, so that multiple options pull up so that I can redo PA2 underscore A. There are different things that you can do in it. Say I typed in pi, there's a number for pi, but if I wanted more digits to that, what I can do is I can type in format long, and then once I do that, once I type in pi, you can see that more numbers after the decimal are showed up just in case that you need them. Some other cool things that you can do is that if you say you wanted to get rid of all your workspace, all you have to do is type in clear, and when you type that in, you can see that your workspace all clears out, and that if you're ever stuck in an endless loop, all you have to do is type in end, which obviously right now I'm not in an endless loop, but if you're ever stuck in one and you need to get out of it, all you have to do is type in the command N, and then you should be all set. And then one last thing before I end is that it doesn't work right now, but say I had V equals 12, T is equal to 10, and then S is equal to 5. If you ever wanted to pull up the variables that you didn't know about, or like your workspace is so filled, all you have to do is type in who, and then it will show your variables. That way you can recognize which ones they are so you don't reuse them, and then that way if you say you wanted to figure out what S was, you just type in S, press enter, and then the number for the variable will pop up. So I just want to say thank you for the time, and I hope that this helps with any MATLAB situation that you might run into or need to try and get help with.